Where is the scarab? Where is the scarab? Where is the scarab? No. Where's the scarab?
I mean, I think we should just be happy that 343 released anything. Right? I mean, they released something. It's a feat of mankind.
They've released tons of things. They've released a TV show.
No.
They've released a cookbook.
Ooh, you got me there. They did release a cookbook.
They've released an Among Us crossover.
Yes. And don't forget Master Chief from Fortnite.
The Among Us collab that everyone asked for. Everyone asked for that.
Yeah, thank God. Imagine Among Us gets Master Chief for Halo Infinite multiplayer.
Oh, they got the Tims. Yeah.
I think the cookbook is the best thing, right? I mean, no one wanted a roadmap of what's coming in season 2. Like, they promised us a roadmap.
Did they?
By the end of January, and here we are. It's April. We don't have a roadmap. After they didn't release it and they apologized and they were like, "Hey, yeah, we fucked up. We know we were supposed to release this. Sorry, it's gonna be a bit longer." And then they didn't do it again. Do you think they just like hoped everyone would just like forget that they promised that? Like, and it largely seems like they have, right? Like, no one seems to be particularly like belligerent with them about that specifically, or to be holding that against them in particular compared to other things. But it's just incredible. Like, oh, here's a Halo cookbook with recipes from across the galaxy, and then on the cover of the book I just see churros and a cheeseburger. Like, not even some chicken Cortana blue. Just, you know, like, just churros, bro. Like, okay, got it. See, we needed the cookbook because if you've seen the Halo TV show, Master Chief is apparently a picky eater. He doesn't eat because he didn't see anything he liked. Because that's who Master Chief is. No. Have you watched the show?
Fuck no, I haven't watched the show.
You don't eat?
Didn't see anything I liked.
Yeah? What is it you like?
Nuts. That was a joke.
Yeah, no, I get it.
He said that. He said, I didn't see anything I liked. Because Master Chief is a picky eater.
He survived this long and got that muscle mass by being a picky eater.
Yeah, Master Chief is a picky eater. So Master Chief is a picky eater who tells jokes.
And he's not funny jokes.
Right, and he does it with his helmet off.
All the time.
You know? Woo! I go in that DFAC every single day and see things that I don't want to eat. You know what I do? I eat them because I'm hungry.
Right.
Like,
you have to.
Dude, Master Chief.
For energy.
I'm Master Chief, man. Everyone that I know is Master Chief. Like, everyone that I'm here with right now is capable of eating food that they're not particularly fond of, and they do it every single day.
So you're pretty much a super soldier.
Yeah, basically.
Basically, you're about as strong as a super soldier.
See, the difference is no one gets mad when I take my mask off. Pablo Schreiber, the guy who's playing Master Chief in the show, tweeted and was like, oh, the response to the Halo TV show has been overwhelmingly positive, and you know, there are some, and he put in quotation marks the word fans rooting against the home team, basically alluding to people that are saying they don't like it or criticizing the show are quote unquote fans rooting against the home team. That's how he categorized them. It's like, no, maybe you are a quote unquote actor, just absolutely, you know, defrauding everything that long-term fans of this franchise who have like a deep attachment and connection to it see their game and this story and this character as by just doing everything that Master Chief wouldn't do. Oh, it's so rough, man. It's so rough.
It's by Steve Downes himself, the voice of Master Chief. But I see this a lot from a lot of people, and he words it like this: the overwhelming opinion among the Halo faithful at Lexington Comic-Con is the Halo TV show is a hit. Count me among the believers. Which, okay, let's just take a pause. He probably contractually has to say that, right? That's a real thing. That's how show business works. He's literally the voice of Master Chief. He's probably under contract. He had to make that tweet, or his publicist had to make that tweet, whatever. He probably didn't even write that. Maybe he did. I doubt it. So moving on
his
from
Twitter
that,
was inactive for almost a year before this show released. So
yeah, most of there's a lot of celebrities that you think make their social media posts and they never actually ever are the ones who do that, and it's all PR and it's all marketing and it's all like part of your contract now is like you have to make 5 posts on your Instagram about this thing, about the new movie coming out, and make it sound like you, and like you should go see. Yeah, that's the whole thing. So I highly doubt Steve even said this, but anyway, even if he did, it's fine. It's just the whole Halo faithful thing. It's the believer thing. Like that kind of talk is just weird to me, because what they're making it like, just like what you said about Pablo,
quote unquote fans rooting against the home team.
right? It's a lot
like,
of
what
us
is the home
versus
team?
them.
First of all, it's othering.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's what, this is not the home team, my brother. What home team are you talking about? You guys.
Having a dissenting opinion about something does not make you a fucking hater. It doesn't mean you're like bitter. You know, it could mean that
what if it's bad?
You like something enough to be critical of it and to think critically about it, which even the word critic tends to carry a very negative connotation, even though it's not actually a pretty neutral word in meaning.
Right, because to be a critic of something, to be recognized as a critic of something would imply that you have a wealth of experience and familiarity with it, one that would only be acquired through, a passion or interest.
Right.
So it's very...
Not through a hatred. People don't become critics of something because they hate it
so much that I eat, sleep, and breathe it.
Yeah, Anthony Fantano hates music so much that he just made it his entire life. That's how much he hates music. He just listens to it all the time, and it's his job, and he talks about it all the time because he fucking hates it. That's what he did. Yeah.
Well, I'm just interested to see, like, does the Halo Cookbook have a recipe for making a good episode of that TV show? Because...
I fucking hope so, dude, because what I've
there's
heard,
got to be something in there, right?
What I've heard for that show, I have not heard a single good thing. Like, no one that's
which is incredible because everyone keeps talking about how overwhelmingly positive the support is, but I haven't seen it.
The only
Where is this overwhelming support?
The only people I've seen talk well about it are the people contractually obligated and paid by Microsoft to say things good about it. And I will tell you, when you work on any project, regardless of how you feel about it in its final form, you're not going to get on Twitter and be like, hey, fuck my co-stars. I hate this project. It sucks. I hate it. It's really bad. It's poorly made. I hate my role in it. Like, no one does that. Like, it doesn't matter how bad it is.
You can go on YouTube and find compilations of the cast of the Star Wars sequel trilogy, like saying, oh, this movie is great through gritted teeth as they as they scream through their eyes for help.
And you could tell, but they can't say it. When you are involved with the project, you do have a different relationship with it, and you probably did have a lot of fun making it. You probably do actually care about it. You probably do think it's good and worth its salt. But unfortunately, that doesn't mean everyone has to feel that way too. You who made it is probably going to like it. Hopefully you like it the most. And then everyone else is going to like it at best slightly less than you do.
There are some objective flaws and issues with the show. Like for me, it's mainly the special effects. The HUDs are pretty
POV
terrible.
Shots,
like the first person, with the HUD, it looks pretty bad. Like the Halo Forward Unto Dawn movie in 2012 on YouTube had better HUD shots. I'm not a huge fan of the characters. There's nothing there. They're just husks. Right. And then subjectively, right, it's a biggest betrayal of like the main and most beloved character of the show, Master Chief, who he is, right? Like I'm sure that the show is at least decent if you are not a Halo fan and you are someone who's brand new, who's just browsing Paramount Plus and decides, oh, I'll check this new trending show out.
Right.
And you're not familiar with Halo. But if you're a Halo fan and you have a passion for the series and a familiarity with the characters, and it is truly a slap in the face of what you want to see. I think a lot of the problems are subjective, but there are definitely some objective issues too. Also, the the CG is pretty bad sometimes, like pretty bad.
TV show's cool, right? I mean, we've wanted something like that. I mean, some people, it's been in the works.
Yeah,
Something
I
live
didn't.
action. Something live
I'm not
action
even
has
lying.
been
I
in
did.
the works for a very long time, like since Neil Blomkamp and Peter Jackson tried to do a little something something. Like, it's always been something that people have been interested in. At one point, Steven Spielberg was attached to a project that I don't think is happening anymore, that got announced at like the fucking Oscars or the Video Game Awards, I don't remember, but something like that. You know, it's been something that's brewing and brewing. They've tried to make work and tried to make work, and it's cool that something finally has come to fruition and it's finally been released. But unfortunately, after all this time, after all this wheel spinning, it's something that just does not produce a very unanimously positive response, which sucks. But I think maybe with time it could develop into something better. You know, I don't know. I kind of agree with you that I wasn't on the edge of my seat for a new Halo project to release, Hunter, because we just had the most important Halo project release recently, and it wasn't the cookbook, but we recently had the most important Halo project release, and that shit wasn't ready, that shit wasn't finished, and it isn't good. And that's what I care about. I care about Halo Infinite, the video game, in the video game series to be good. I don't want to make a fucking hamburger, and I don't want to watch Netflix. I want to play the game. I want to play the fucking game.
No, you wanna make churros from another galaxy, bro.
Like,
it's honestly offensive.
Dude,
it's so offensive.
Dude, I don't.
This is what you.
Dude.
You couldn't have at least waited until season 2 to drop the cookbook, bro. Like,
dude,
that's not part of season 2.
I don't want to play Among Us. I want to play.
I know.
I want to play
like,
the first-person shooter.
You guys still have not come out and like openly, transparently addressed on like the Halo Twitter or anything. Like, hey, yeah. So by the way, co-op campaign on May 5th, not gonna be there. Like, you have not said that at all. Even though everyone has basically found out through like, you know,
rumors.
Yeah, through like rumors and like hints and allusions to it, and things that devs have said like on their own accounts where they don't identify themselves as being 343 employees.
Lies by omission.
Like, like
whatever.
basically saying like, you know, it's actually not going to be ready to go. But here's a cookbook. Yeah. I have a friend who works as like a finance and marketing analyst at Paramount, and they said that they feel really bad because everyone at Paramount was talking about how awesome it was going to be, and that they feel like everyone has hated it so far.
Yeah.
They're like, all they did was hype this up, and I feel like everyone hates it, and I'm like, yeah.
Like,
you're correct.
Look, don't get me wrong. To be on that side of it, I empathize. Like, I do.
Yeah, because they don't have any influence whatsoever in the production of the show.
Do you know all they thought?
They're just a marketing and sale, like a finance analyst.
They're like, I'm a big fan of Halo. This is awesome, dude. I get to do Halo at work and like promote it. Dude, that's awesome. I'm so excited. And then it comes out, right? And then you're like, oh God, you know. And now your job becomes something completely different than what you wanted, because now it's like damage control. Now it's like, let's control the opinion of the internet. Let's gaslight them to think that it's a good show. And that's a way worse day at work than you wanted it to be when you heard you were going to release the Halo show. So I empathize with that. I really do. It's not their fault. It's really almost no one's fault that you're seeing public facing who is making any of these tweets or making any of these, you know, anything. Like, it's a way more top level issue, but that sucks. Like, it does make me feel bad to hear that, because it is like the disappointment is immense in those kinds of situations, right? Because you're like soaring, you're like, oh, I'm a big Halo fan, this is this is the coolest thing ever, I'm gonna tell my family, I'm gonna tell my girlfriend, I'm gonna talk about it all the time. I'm gonna tell my friends it's gonna be so sick. Hey, guess what we're doing? Halo's coming out, man. I'm like doing the marketing for it. I'm on that, PR team, and then it comes out, and then you have to have a whole different discussion. Yeah. Your dad's like, yeah, I saw that Halo show you were talking about. And he just gets really quiet and he just kind of stares at you and he waits for you to say it. You know what I mean? It's a way different. It's a way different conversation. It was a bold ass move to try to make this show. It's a bold move to try to do live action like that for something like this. And man, I just probably was not ready. It's probably too soon. Bit off more than they could chew. I think the franchise is biting off more than they can chew in general right now, and I think they need to get more focused on what's important. I don't know what that would be. I can't even guess what the most important facet of the franchise is right now. I have no idea what they should focus on. I have no ideas, but hopefully they do, and maybe it'll be a second cookbook. I don't know. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching the video. We really appreciate it. If you want to support the channel, subscribe. If you want to see more videos similar to this one, leave a like on this video and leave a comment down below and let us know what you thought about some of the things that we discussed. We love having open discussion down in the comments and we try to respond to them all. So we really appreciate you taking the time. We hope you have a great day. We'll see you on the next video.